required minimum distributions mean exactly what they sound like. You are required to take a minimum amount of money in a distribution from your retirement account. So why, when it sounds so simple, does it often turn out to be so confusing when you go to do it? Jim Lineweaver's here with simple strategies to clear up all the confusion. Jim's a certified financial planner with the Lineweaver Financial Group. Thanks for joining me, Jim.
My pleasure.
So, simple fact, we need to learn about RMDs, required minimum distributions. What are the rules?
Well, they can be complicated, like you mentioned, and the IRS unfortunately doesn't make it too easy. But what these are basically distributions that you have to take from a qualifying retirement plan. This can be a traditional IRA, it can be a 401k, it can be a simple IRA. A lot of these things where you got a deduction going in, grew tax deferred, 70 and a half, you have to start paying Uncle Sam.
So all these retirement accounts, you have to take required distributions, every one of them.
Every one of them. Well, if not, then you're going to get hefty penalties. So you're going to want to take these distributions.
One exception. Roths? Do you have to take them from Roths?
Well, the owner does not. However, anybody that inherits a Roth other than a spouse does. And this is a common misconception, so you have to be careful about that.
Gotcha.
And if you inherit that Roth, you have to start distributions the following year, or it all has to be out within 5 years if you're not a spouse and you are the beneficiary.
All right, so normally, when do you have to take required minimum distributions?
Well, this is where it can get a little confusing. What happens is in the year you turn 70 and a half, you have to do a distribution by April 1st the following year. So I thought it would be kind of helpful to give your viewers an example.
That's usually a good thing.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's say you turned 70 last year on September 30th, actually, 2012.
Okay.
And then on March 30th, that's when you hit age 70 and a half.
Okay.
So a lot of people think that's the year I have to take a distribution. Well, you don't. You have to do it by April 1st the following year. And if you do that, you have to be careful, because if in the 2014 you take the distribution by April 1st, you're going to have to do another one that year, which could potentially jump you up into another bracket.
So it might be better, even though normally we like to think of delaying the distributions so that your money's working for you more, but because of tax reasons, you might be better off taking that first distribution as soon as you hit 70 and a half.
Exactly. This is where tax planning really comes into play, because it'd be much better maybe than jumping into another bracket.
All right. What if we goof up? And a year comes along and we don't take our required minimum distribution, or we don't take it on time?
Well, if the IRS catches you, and it's just a computer program, so you're going to get flagged, it's a 50% penalty of whatever you were supposed to take out. So if you're supposed to take out $10,000 in a required minimum distribution, they're going to sock you with a $5,000 penalty. And
so it's not a tax on $5,000. They actually sock you for $5,000.
Yeah. And then you'll still have to pay the tax.
So oh my God,
it's a big
horrible.
penalty. Yeah.
So you got to know. So how do we figure out what it is, how much we have to take out each year?
Well, your advisor should be able to tell you that, and if not, every custodian on your IRA or 401k will send you notification, and they will have the tables, and they can calculate that distribution for you.
So there are set tables that the IRS puts out?
Exactly.
And those are the ones you have to follow?
Yes.
And then when you can't follow it, talk to somebody like you.
Exactly, because you don't want that penalty.
All right. Thanks, Jim. Good information. Appreciate it very, very much.
My pleasure.
RMDs, required minimum distributions, they can be a ticking financial time bomb. Don't let RMDs turn into financial WMDs. That's weapons of mass destruction. For more information, give Jim a call. His number's up next.
Learn more by calling the Lineweaver Financial Group at 1-888-313-4009 or log on to www.lineweaver.net. Next, assuring that man's best friend can get better.